Hello, and welcome to your bi-weekly cash withdrawal, Legends of Philadelphia. We're your hosts. I'm Johnny Old Money Zito. This is my schoolyard chum, the Don of Debit, Tony Trove. Joining us, as always, is Brian, third-party check Bierman.
You gotta get someone else to sign it. That's the whole thing. I don't think they accept them anymore.
You might be wondering, where is the automatic teller machine? Well, in addition to being Philadelphia natives, Trove and I have a lifestyle brand, South Fellini, that focuses on Philly culture and in-jokes. Lots of times customers will ask us, do you remember my PIN code? Or they want to know if they can borrow $15 until next week.
Come on.
So we decided to start this podcast as an easy explainer for new Philadelphians and a refresher for the old heads. The city fascinates and excites us, so we're hoping to share that with you.
You know we're good for it.
Trove, I noticed you have a mug there. You don't usually bring a mug to the show.
I don't usually bring a mug either.
You have a hat and no mug.
Today you have a mug and no hat.
Well, I got this mug, Snap Your Mac. It doesn't say got a tap Mac, which you'd think it would. Yeah, I got this for Christmas. Good friend John gave it to me.
Oh, I guess I did.
Yeah. But I love this mug. It tastes like money, if you ask. It tastes like makes everything taste like nickels.
The tastiest currency.
The tastiest of all
Nickels.
currency.
Get these dimes out of here.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
For Christmas this year, I got I went searching for Philly ephemera, promo items that had been made for Philadelphia products in the past.
If you follow me on Instagram, Tony.Trove, I have an Philadelphia ephemera collection, and I guess Zito wanted to be a part of it.
I did. I wanted to. So there's a little plaque at Trove's house underneath the mug, and it says donated by the Zito family.
Yeah.
We all pitched
the
in.
Zito estate.
Yeah, it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
Everyone in my family donated a
Thank
nickel.
you, Michael.
That's my brother. So what is a Mac machine? Philly is known for its unique slang, simple words and phrases that contain a multitude of deeper meaning. For example, like Yobo. For example, gotta tap Mac is a common refrain among Philadelphians looking to grab some quick cash. But what is a Mac machine, and where did they all go? Today, we want to withdraw some knowledge on Philadelphia's iconic ATM.
We're depositing knowledge we're withdrawing from us and depositing into your brain. ATM.
That's
great.
good.
That's
true. Yeah. You guys, did you guys ever have a Mac card? Did you ever use an old-fashioned Mac machine?
No, I was too old by the time I got money. It's not much money, but they had already switched to ATMs. But you still heard the term. Like I was texting my mom and dad, and they both said it took me forever to stop saying Mac machine and tap Mac. Like decades after, no one said that anymore.
It was even the place we drop off some of our packages at Bertolino's Pharmacy. They have Mac machine signs up, but no actual Mac machine. Just everyone knows that means ATM.
Yeah.
But I never had a Mac card.
And it's old when you see like the old signs and stuff. It's just like you still see the remnants of Mac machines.
There were a few left over until even recently. I know one of like around Houston Street in Frankfurt, and before it became a weed dispensary, the PNC Bank at 3rd and Packer had a Mac machine signage out front on their ATM still. So it's like even though this thing's been gone forever, the signage persists, and we all know what it is because we grew up watching it kind of slowly disappear.
And it's local. It's not like it's not international or national.
No.
Or outside the greater Philadelphia.
It's the tri-state area.
Tri-state.
Yeah, it's
Delaware Valley.
Delaware Valley, sure.
Valley.
Yeah.
Utah doesn't know anything about this.
They're lost. So ATMs have been around since the late 60s, originating in Japan and quickly proliferating throughout Europe. The first ATMs in the U.S. were first introduced by DocuTel out of Texas. By 1974, they had acquired 70% of the market, but a worldwide recession and a reliance on a single product line put them out of business.
So an ATM is you get money out.
Yeah, you put in a card, punch in your PIN.
It's free money.
It's kind of weird to think about a time where ATMs didn't exist.
Yeah, you were just like, well, I can't get money out, so I'm done with stuff.
People used to write checks. You walk into a place like, here, I wrote you a check. Here you go. Well, I've been to the Midwest, and some places still take personal checks.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I do remember as a kid that you could still pay with a check at the Acme. And
Wow, really?
Yeah, and I remember that being a big deal when they stopped accepting checks. Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
A lot of uproar.
Remember they had also you pay with a credit card and they had to bring out like a thing and
Yeah.
take an imprint of it.
With a carbon paper, yeah.
Or you can like get your pencil and like it's like Ellis Island or something.
So there was a recession, and people stopped taking money out of the bank, and that put DocuTel out of business. People didn't need to spend it because they couldn't. Regional banks rushed to fill the void. In the 1970s, Girard Bank launched a proprietary network of automated teller machines in 1978 known as George.
George.
Do you guys remember George at all?
No.
George,
is it named after George Washington?
Yeah.
On the dollar?
I'm pretty sure that was the influence, yeah.
The guy from the dollar?
That one, that very same guy.
George.
I think, it's just because Girard begins with a G, George begins with a G. I think it was, their logo back then used to be a red G on a white flag. So I think it was just, about branding and trying to keep people like,
and this is like a grand,
That's
so
true.
There you go.
That's actually, I wonder what happened to Girard Bank. Maybe we'll find out.
Stay tuned.
Not to be outdone, Philadelphia National Bank, PNB, launched its own network of ATMs in 1979. The Money Access Center, or the Mac Machine.
The Mac.
It's born. Now
I thought it was named after Mac from Always Sunny.
Maybe that's what he's named after.
I always thought they should do an episode on that. I don't know. Maybe it's
Mac,
too
if
inside
you're
baseball.
listening, yeah.
Maybe it's too inside, but
They definitely try to dip into it.
it makes sense to me that his criminal father would name him
After a Mac machine.
It's
a good one.
There's nothing in that. There's nothing, and you keep drinking it. There's
sip?
nothing in it.
Throw this in your face. Scolding hot.
Acid. He was drinking acid?
What are you laughing at?
acid.
CGI and acid, Justin.
If you're listening, drove through a mug full of acid in our
Right.
face.
People
But we
listened and watched.
And we still didn't stop the podcast. We still kept going because we're pros.
We're pros. Philadelphia National Bank was able to line up support from 13 other financial institutions for the Mac launch.
Capture the heads of the families.
All the other banking families, yeah. And they captured significantly more market share than George, just on the day they debuted. So immediately, George had access to, I think it said 4 banks, and the day Mac launched, it had access to 13 banks. It was a system that connected all of these banks.
No thanks.
So you could be a member at any of these banks and access your money through Mac, but at Girard, there were only 4 banks you could be a part of.
No, I need 13.
Pittsburgh Bank, Mellon, stormed into Philadelphia and took over the 4 banks that made up the George network. The Mellon system, known as CashStream, included 95 banks from across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, West Virginia, Maryland, etc.
This was back when there was more banks.
Yeah.
Not like, what do we have, like 3 banks now?
Yeah, there's a handful of banks.
It's a monopoly.
You can count them on one hand. But back then, there was all these local banks and savings and loans and credit unions. And so the idea was, how many different networks can you tap into?
Mellon was like a big Philadelphia thing back when in the 90s. That was like, they had their stuff on like Phillies.
Yeah, Mellon was a big
merch
bank.
And
First Union.
Yeah.
Wachovia.
Tweeter,
all the old
the
banks.
Tweeter Center.
Well, no, those banks all bought each other and changed their names. They're all the same bank with different names. It's hard to keep track of.
Well, luckily those banks landed on their feet.
And then, let's bring back Mac machines, and they dispense mac and cheese.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm way into this. And then it's like
You heard it here.
white cheddar.
I know this is going to come
there's
out
different
like
ones.
in a few weeks, but yesterday I read that there was like the first cheese dispensary machine in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I don't really know what that means, but
So they stole
I mean,
our
it kind of
idea.
sounds like you stole their idea. 'Cause it just came out yesterday.
Well, I didn't hear about it. That's just cheese. Ours has macaroni and cheese. It's
Yeah,
different.
yeah. Quick, apply for the patent.
All right.
But really, what we want to take out some of their market share, so then we can combine. That's where the real money.
The real money is getting bought out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just want to cause a dent.
I know. We know what we're doing. Selling mac and cheese
Cause
through
it dent.
machines. We're not idiots.
Joining a regional network in Philadelphia really came down to Cash Stream or Mac machines. While Cash Stream had the size, Mac had the style. The kiosks...
Style.
Yeah, they had the style. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
That's right.
Damn.
With kiosks designed by local fabricator Cutler Signs, Mac machines offered privacy, convenience, and recognizable signage. Every Mac machine featured the same colorful logo posted above the enclosure.
Well, this is one color, but Mac machines have like that rainbow, and as we all know,
It's on the sticker.
We all know, printing many colors can be expensive and difficult.
Yeah.
So, good on them.
Also, I mean, it is a
Nice job, Cutler Signs.
rainbow.
It's a rainbow.
Prism.
It helps you. Helps you identify it from a distance. It's not just like, oh, what's that red thing down the street? It's the whole rainbow. They were like, we're laying claim to all the colors, not just green or red or whatever.
Right, the color of money.
Rainbow.
Rainbow, the color of money. Bierman's making the money fingers.
That's why people need to watch on YouTube. No more listening on anywhere you listen, wherever you get your podcast.
From now on,
it's YouTube.
The Mac logo was so ubiquitous that the locals came to prefer the terms Mac machine and Mac card to ATM or ATM card. PNB launched a massive promotional campaign to get the word out, encouraging customers to meet Mac for your money.
Mine says snap your Mac.
We'll get there.
So they were making a branding.
They were going for it right away, yeah.
You don't want the money from a regular ATM doesn't smell as good as a Mac machine to me.
Also, I mean, I'm sure that like part of this is like, oh, well, we got to get people to start using the ATMs. We put all this money into this. We got to like get people comfortable with this idea of accessing money. And then if people feel good about getting money 24 hours a day, they'll still stay out later. They'll spend more money. This is good for the economy. It's like, It's all that.
Makes sense.
Capitalism is good idea.
That scam.
It'll
never last.
It's a fad.
The most successful ad blitz was a commercial featuring Eagles linebacker Bill Bergey. At the end of the commercial, Bill delivered the catchphrase, "Tap Mac for a little cash." Then he hit the Mac machine, and it displayed "ouch" in the text screen.
Oh, he heard it?
He heard it.
So this is where everyone started saying Tap Mac from.
A phrase was born, and it captured the minds and hearts of everyone in
If something
Philadelphia.
rhymes, it's like official.
Yeah.
That doesn't rhyme, though.
Tap Mac.
It's got a cadence.
If it was in a song, you'd be like, yeah, that's...
You'd be like, I can't believe he rhymed Mac with tap.
You gotta wrap it.
You gotta wrap
So you can fit it in.
Like Blondie. You got to wrap it.
Yeah.
Like Blondie, my favorite rapper.
Yeah,
Debbie
Blondie.
Harry.
MC Debbie Harry. This was like a changing of the thing, though, of just like I know now we can you can order whatever. You can take the bus with your phone. And
You pay with
stuff,
your phone. Yeah, you don't...
This was just like, wow, I can like do things when things close and the bank's closed, and I can still get money out. I can still go to the strip club. The strip club's not closed for me.
I can still gamble
Well,
all night.
you have to get one, request the ones.
Yeah, ones. But they don't do that, though. Some machines now they do, but
They'll give you change at the strip club.
change, like quarters.
The public had spoken, and P&B had won the ATM wars. Gerard, they won. It was over.
Take that.
Gerard and Mellon merged, and in 1984, George and Cashstream were absorbed into the Mac network.
Yeah, we all knew it was coming.
Resistance is futile.
They're like the Borg.
They're
Mac
like-
machines.
They're like the board.
Oh, I guess that is what I'm representing. That's true.
I brought up Star Trek, so you didn't have to. 'Cause
Thank
You're
you.
not allowed to. But
Although I noticed there are no rules about referencing Star Trek. We have rules against
'cause
Seinfeld.
no one else is going to do it except you. But I just did it, I guess.
Well, that's the mind games I play. I trick
That's
you
true.
into
Yeah, yeah,
referencing
yeah.
them.
You know what? I do like Star Trek.
I like lead you up to it, and then you're like,
Like
"Are you
the
talking
Borg.
about Star Trek?" Oh, I suppose I am. I am. Yeah. So Mac won the ATM wars. They took over the city. I read a statistic.
No, I'm full. I'm so cool.
I
So
read,
hydrated.
Bierman is drinking out of an invisible cup. Trove is drinking nothing out of a real
At a
cup.
And scene.
Oh,
We should.
no.
Our podcast should be a Philly history podcast, but also we do improv games too.
Mac machines had taken over entirely throughout Philadelphia, so much so that within Center City there were 100 ATMs and they were all Mac machines. There was no other.
100% penetration.
Yeah. In fact, the Mac card is so iconic, its image is the example for ATM cards on the Wikipedia page for ATM cards.
It'll never be replaced with another public domain image. Does it have somebody's numbers on it?
It's blocked out. It's like with a black bar.
That's a shame. If you have a Mac, like they don't still. If you have one, they don't. Like they don't have those anymore, right?
I found a post by a guy on Reddit who says his Mac card stopped working, and it was from 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So his bank honored the Mac card as each subsequent bank was bought up, gobbled up. His ATM was still good. They honored the same card.
Wow.
To this day, many Philadelphians will use the phrase "tap Mac" as shorthand for making withdrawals from ATMs. I found the phrase in Help Wanted ads for Mac for the business as late as 1997.
So they were like they were using it as
Yeah.
Tap Mac. I like they make Mac seem like he's a person, like in those ads.
Yeah, I never considered that, to be honest. When it wasn't until I was reading about this and it was like, oh, Gerard Bank had George, that I even thought that Mac was supposed to be like
your friend,
like Mac, yeah,
like Victoria's Secret.
She's not real, you know. The earliest casual reference I can find to Tap Mac is from a 1982 Inquirer article about Mac promotions gone awry. PNB offered free Phillies tickets on select transaction receipts through Mac machines, but some scammers found that they could cycle the same $20 through dozens of deposits and withdrawals until the machine delivered the general admission baseball ticket. One user accumulated 18 tickets in a single day.
I love that no matter, like, you can put out whatever, and it's like, immediately, everyone's like, how do I rip this off? How can I scam this?
I mean, the Phillies were hot those years, so I could see why somebody would want 18 Phillies tickets.
The price back then was $250 general admission.
$250 is $7.89 in today's with the money.
Wow, that's
which is like you
Times
can't even buy a hot dog for $7.89 at the game. It's bullshit.
I applaud this guy's ingenuity, and I wonder how many other people took advantage of it as well.
That's a great.
You think I even knew 18 people?
It took the whole family. As with any new technology, Mac found bugs in the system as soon as they launched. Transactions made at Mac machines were not always recorded in the user's account. These phantom withdrawals caused chaos at the bank and created opportunities for fraud.
Free money.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I guess the idea was, it should be recorded at the register, but because the register wasn't tied into the computer, tied into the machine, the ATM machine, they had to rely on someone to physically do that. So if it got missed, if the transaction got missed if it got missed.
Hey, how about you missed this transaction? And I'll give you free Phillies tickets that I've procured.
You like Greg Lazinski?
Yeah, you like Pete Rose, right? That honorable man, Pete Rose.
It was Pete Rose doing the scam.
He was out front scalping them.
Yeah. Made $30 today. And he stole 3 bases.
Shoulder surfing and card theft were the most common scams of the
Shoulder
time.
surfing.
Shoulder surfing, when you'd be in line
That's
at
when
the
a
ATM.
bird sits on your shoulder. That's what the bird calls
That's what
it.
the bird calls it, right?
No, that's when you like peek at someone's number.
Yeah,
and you,
their
like,
PIN
memorize
number.
it.
Oh, shoulder surfing?
Shoulder surfing, yeah.
Never heard that.
I guess it was coined back then specifically. I mean, now there's all like safety rules and I don't know, etiquette for going to an
Back
ATM.
up. I'm getting money out.
Yeah.
Stand 5 feet away. I don't want you shoulder surfing me.
Hang 10 back there.
Back up. See, if you had a bird, the bird could watch the guy
The bird could watch.
That's true. Then you got to worry about the bird stealing your PIN number, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Some fraudsters would deposit an empty envelope, trying to trick the automated system, and then withdraw cash that was never actually deposited.
Nice.
That's a good one, too.
Yeah, I read one story about a guy who put an envelope and said there was $25,000 in there, and then he went around to different Mac machines taking out the max withdrawal from his account because it had been recorded on the computer, obviously, but
that's a good one.
No one had counted it in.
I guess he got caught. That's why we know it.
Yes. Yeah.
So maybe not a good one.
And that little boy was me. It was me the whole time. Man, so it would just you could just put an envelope in there?
Yeah. Yeah, back when you would, to deposit cash, you would put an envelope in with cash in it.
And then somebody had to physically go through all these envelopes?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not like now when there's a robot.
Yeah.
And it all gets counted on the spot.
Can't scam a robot.
Spark the robot revolution.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Others would make up multiple withdrawals from different Mac machines and then report their cards stolen, unaware that they'd been caught on supermarket or bank CCTV. Because at the time, ATMs did not come with cameras all the time.
So they thought they were being smart Alex.
Yeah, they thought they were being slick. There were several cases of kidnapping in Mayfair where the victims were driven to Mac machines to make withdrawals from their accounts. However, the first fatal robbery at a Mac machine took place in 1987 at 2nd and Pine.
Well, that's really sad. Can't believe it took that long.
Yeah, it's interesting because you'd think it would be the number one target as soon as these things showed up. Mm-hmm. The whole goal of the ATM is to allow you to access your money after bank hours, presumably after dark.
Right, and for cash. I guess not everybody, even as popular as it was, I'm sure not everyone had a Mac card.
That's true, yeah.
So you're kind of like assuming they have it. Was there a limit on how much you could take out at once?
I think it was $500. Mm. I'm almost sure because several of the news articles that I mentioned or I read mentioned $500 as being what was stolen. So either that was the max what you could withdraw, or people were regularly withdrawing $500 to be like, I'll hold on to this for a few weeks and spend it over time. As opposed to how we kind of use the ATMs now, which is like, I don't travel with cash. I get the cash when I need it where I'm at.
Yeah. You're like, I'm going to get this out because there's a new Oasis CD coming out, so I'm going to save on to that.
It wasn't until 1992 that police began to keep track of ATM crime, separate from other robberies.
It seems long that it took that long.
Well, they were just counting it as like armed robbery.
It happened so much, they were like, we need our own thing.
Well, when they did take a look, the data was alarming. In the first 2 weeks of March...
It was probably so obvious.
Yeah. March that year, first 2 weeks, they noticed 10 ATM robberies had taken place in Center City alone, and twice as many when they expanded the circle to the whole city.
That's not good.
No, and that's just ATM robberies. That's not counting everything else.
Ooh. Dangerous place. Early 90s Philadelphia.
I found an article that said Philadelphia not as dangerous, or Philadelphia Center City not as dangerous as you think, and then it like listed all of these crimes and whatnot. And it was like, I know a guy just got shot at an ATM at 2nd and Pine, but
trust us, it's fine.
It's actually pretty cool around here. It only happened the one time,
and it never happened again.
After a series of robberies along Cheltenham Avenue, State Rep Charles Nahill proposed a law to require 24-hour surveillance and emergency phones at all Mac machines, but the bill died in committee.
Huh.
He blamed bank lobbyists.
Yeah. Big Mac.
So you mean to tell me city council members were taking money from banks to not do this?
This was state. He was probably yes, but this was a state politician.
Okay.
That doesn't happen anymore, though.
Stuff like that.
Stuff like that.
They settled that up.
I could be wrong, but I couldn't find any Pennsylvania laws regulating ATMs until 2005. And there was a lot of grandfathering in of old ATMs in the process. So like it was like you got to have a cement walkway underneath your ATM. But if you have an ATM and it doesn't have a cement walkway, you're grandfathered in. There's like a lot of that. And so there are still ATMs, I imagine, out there without cameras because they've still been operating since 2004 or 2005. I got a gas station in my neighborhood at an A+ or Sunoco, and up until, I want to say, right before the pandemic, their ATM had a dial-up modem. You know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So there's some ancient ones out there.
Yeah, you can probably scam that thing.
By the late 80s, Mac introduced a debit feature allowing customers to pay with their Mac card. Upbeat commercial jingles encouraged audiences to snap Mac at the register, just like the mug. Snap Mac at the register, bypassing the cash altogether.
So you slap the person in the face with it. Snap the person in the face with it.
Why did they change? Why did they go with snap?
I think just because they were maybe as a branding thing or a promotional thing to get you aware of you can use the card differently now.
Snapping is different than tapping.
Well, snap is like I snap it down on the counter.
But tap is when you tap it.
Tap is when you tap the machine. Tap implies like a whole operation. Snap is like, look how quick it is.
Yeah. Snap. I like tap better, to be honest.
Well, I think that's why it continues.
Didn't catch on.
Yeah, snap
no
didn't
one
really
says
catch
snap
on.
Mac.
And they tried, obviously. They made all this promotional.
Yeah, but no one says that.
No, I've never heard anyone say snap Mac.
Just because you drink in a mug.
I'm so full of this.
Of this milk.
I couldn't find the original Tap Mac commercial, but I did find Snap Mac.
Yeah, I watched that. Can we put that in right now?
Gotta pack Mac, once in slacks, baseball caps, fashion wraps, knick-knacks, almanacs. Don't pay by check, don't pay by cash. Just snap, snap, snap your Mac.
Next time you buy, keep Mac close by. A snap of Mac, a few quick taps. Mac pays the tab in nothing flat. It's unsurpassed.
I can even snap my Mac as cash to gas my Pontiac.
Snap, snap, snap your Mac. Get the knack. Snap your Mac. Snap your Mac.
Wow, that was hilarious.
Oh my goodness, what a good one.
In 1988, Core States acquired an integrated Mac competitor, CashStream,
wow.
making Mac the second largest regional ATM network behind only NYCE. So at this point, I saw a coverage map from Illinois to Pennsylvania and a little bit of New York, from Virginia to New York. It was Mac had market penetration. And
that was their turf.
That was their turf. So I went and I looked up, and there are you can find some Mac machines along the highways and roads in these places too. So the old signage exists all over the place.
If you find an old Mac machine or Mac sign, please send it to us.
I would love to start a repository or a list so people could find them.
A list.
I want one for my my ephemera collection.
You want an actual Mac sign?
Yeah.
I
want a Mac machine. I want a whole machine.
A whole machine.
If you find a Mac machine that's totally full, let us know.
And they're thrown away.
Even if they're not.
People, I know someday we'll do a tour of the studio. We have ephemera decorated through all out behind camera, so maybe we can get one for the studio here.
Yeah, it would be really cool to have an original Mac
machine,
Mac machine or Mac machine logo.
And we'll put it back there. We'll install it.
Yeah.
And it gives out mac and cheese. Like that's our first prototype.
That's how we'll get it started.
Does anybody own? Maybe you don't know this, but does anybody own the Mac
Copyright?
machine? Yeah.
I couldn't figure. I actually did look into it, and that's how I found out who made the signage. But I'm not sure because these banks keep buying each other. So my best guess would be Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
It's probably in like someone's contract somewhere that they own it, but probably no one's exercising the.
At some point, it spun off into a different company, and as for who owns Mac now, I think maybe the best answer is Concord EFS. They acquired Mac in 1999, and they also bought Cash Station and Star, which created a network in 28 states. And in 2001, Concord announced its intent to consolidate all three of the networks under the Star banner, making it the largest ATM network in the country.
I've seen the Star logo on ATMs.
I remember when this first happened and the ATMs had the Star signage, but when you actually used the ATM itself, the software was still Mac, and it would come up and say have the Mac logo written in dollar signs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because it couldn't show like colors and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Mac and Cash Station banners were phased out over a 4-year period. Although some Mac signage escaped the rebrand, and you can still find evidence of them in Philadelphia and the surrounding areas. Most recently, I remember seeing one in the news in 2020 when people were blowing up ATMs in the city.
Yeah, that was happening for a while.
So I think one of the last ATMs with a Mac sign that I have ever seen was
They tried to blow it up, but they couldn't blow it up. That was the thing, though. They could never get the money out of it.
Yeah, it's like a Nokia phone. It's indestructible.
That's it.
You can play Snake, but that's it. Yeah. You would literally, people would be like, "What was that?" And it was like, "Oh, somebody's blowing up at ATM."
Yeah, it was a scary time.
Especially if you were an ATM.
That sucks. If you steal one, you can't get it open, and it's just like, no. Well,
I just used up all my firecrackers.
Yeah, what do I
all
do
my
now?
M80s on this thing.
Can't even get any mac and cheese out of it.
Shout out to Hoogie Wave, first song on the album. Gotta Tap Mac.
That's right.
Give a listen. Give me some plays. So I can get my pennies from Spotify.
Check it out on YouTube as well. There's
On
a music
YouTube
video.
as well, yeah.
I kind of want to. What do you guys think about the future of
Money?
Mac? No, not money in general, but like Mac. Is there room for the brand to return? People still say, "Gotta tap Mac."
I don't think people really. I think they just want money. They're not going to be like, I want to get money out from Mac machines.
I mean,
I say yes. When we put out we started doing the free Blockbuster, and then the guy Brian who started free Blockbuster eventually got a cease and desist from Blockbuster, even though they weren't doing anything. They were like, no, the brand is worth something, and we're going to. I don't know if I'm going to talk about that. Sorry, Brian. So, maybe we just start free Mac machine. Give people can put money in it for free, and let people take money for free.
I don't know. I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know how money or economy works, but
That's socialism. Sorry.
maybe. I was thinking maybe more like a Mac coin, maybe like a Bitcoin version.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised if there isn't one already.
Like a local NFT.
Yeah, so if somebody wants to start a Mac coin with us, let us know. We don't know how to do that.
If someone wants to start a failing business with us, everything's like you don't even need cash anymore for so many things. So I
Certain restaurants are only cash only. That's what I'm not.
Yeah, but those are good ones. But I mean, like, that's gonna go away, I guess.
I love when like a restaurant is like, oh, we're cash only. By the way, there's an ATM machine in the corner, and it's like,
oh, the fees are $8.
the fees
Wow.
like $8.
What a thing.
Should we do that at South Fellini? People
Yeah.
would hate us. No, they're not gonna
No. If we had a Mac themed ATM,
we had
people
a
would
Mac-
pay to use it.
It's true.
You'd pay to use it. You know you would. Bring back them warm fuzzy feelings.
Okay. Cut that so we can
We can
we'll
actually
brainstorm.
do it. We'll
brainstorm
actually
on
do
that,
it.
Sure.
Look out for a Mac machine coming to South Fellini, 1507.
You can put money in, but you don't get money out.
You don't get any out.
It's like the Hotel California.
Yeah. You can only check in.
So before we sign off, you guys got any recommendations? What you watching, eating, listening to?
I do have one. My dad started a power washing business called Power Time with a Y. So if you need
What area does he cover?
anywhere, he'll drive
What
anywhere.
about Hawaii?
Probably not Hawaii,
All
but
right.
anywhere.
But Alaska, totally.
Anywhere where Mac machines were popular. Though. But yeah, call Power Time to get rid of the grime.
It rhymes, so it must be true.
That's what I'm saying. Look them up. It's Power Time with a Y.
Okay. I like to recommend air fryers.
Oh, you got on board with the air fryer.
Air,
huh?
amazing.
Air.
It cooks your food with air.
Cook
And
bacon
it's-
in there yet?
No, but we can go do that as soon as we wrap up. Amazing.
That'll.
No brand, just
No
air
air
fryers
fryers.
in general. Amazing.
Just
amazing.
the
Thumbs up.
act of air frying.
Air frying. Get with it, everyone. What about you? What do you recommend?
What do I recommend this week? FDR Park. I've been riding my bike around FDR Park.
Oh,
It's the best.
the Southeast Asian market returns.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's coming up.
The best.
Yep.
The best.
FDR. Check it out.
The lakes.
Go down to the lakes. Have a good time. Okay, that's pretty much all there is to know about the Mac machine. Please check out our website, www.southfellini.com. That's SOUTHFELLINI.com for cool Philly-inspired merch. Visit us at 1507 East Passyunk Avenue in beautiful South Philadelphia. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, and Patreon. We're at South Fellini everywhere. Follow along and join the conversation. We want to hear from you.
Send us pictures of Mac machines if you see them in the wild, or signs.
That's true. I would like to know. Look out for new episodes of the podcast on Mondays. Stay safe, wash your hands, and always remember to take your card.
I've done that many times. It sucks.